Hi everyone. Let me share my screen. Okay, so I believe we are good. All right. Okay. All right. Just wait for a few minutes or 1 minute more. Let me see if people are joining. Okay. Then we will start this wonderful session, CCNP ENARSI. Okay. We'll have a basic discussion today about what the course content we have, about the career path, career guidance, what we are going to achieve after doing this CCNP NRC or CCNP ENCOR. If you're having any planning, any question, if you're having any your mind, all things we'll try to discuss together and we'll try to explore the things. Okay. Just wait for a few seconds more. Probably we are about to start.
Sir, till then can you show
Yeah.
the labs
What?
CCNP for in NRC?
Lab you want to see?
Yeah, sir, which kind of lab that you have created?
Okay. So that is for routing. So the lab is like regarding to just we have to get multiple labs. So this is for the we can test the OSPF, PIGRP, some kind of static routing and all, MPBGP, MPLS for the basic level, right? Just integration of the CEP, how it is going to happen. And in addition of that, we having to define the multiple lab like OSPF lab that already I have prepared in some other EVNG platform. So that I need to import there. So that is going to happen. So this is something I just wanted to show from the very scratch zero, how it is going to happen. And then we'll move about the BGP, OSPF, redistribution, route leaking, filtering, MPBGP, MPLS, those all we are going to cover. Okay. So step by step, I'll show you everything. Okay. Okay, Sumit, makes sense. All right. So
Yes,
I
sir.
believe we are good to start. Okay. So once again, welcome you all in the GuiNet technology. And this is just for the, I can say day zero class or introduction class, you can say. Most of you already know about this platform, but who is very new, they are first time joined this platform for this any new technology for learning. So just for you all, like this is a GuiNet technology from where we are delivering the multiple key technology training. So if you're having any plan for upgrade yourself in terms of the networking, security, and cyber security and SD-WAN, so this is the right platform. You can try to reach out to us on the below given numbers. Probably will help you out with the right direction with the right course content. Okay. All right. So yeah, I can see a lot of people are there. So many people even don't know what is a in core and NRC because recently we know that CCNP module has been changed, right? So earlier CCNP module was like CCNP routing and switching, right? This was the earlier module. So many people know only the CCNP routing and switching. And if you go for the exam, there was CCNP T-shoot exam, right? So troubleshooting was there. So based on troubleshooting, you can do some trouble ticket in the exams, right? So T-suite, routing, switching, and all. But this syllabus has been completely changed. This, if you talk about the new generation networking, this is not available in the market, right? So what Cisco has done, Cisco designed few things for the CCNP. So in CCNP, they designed two category. The first one they known as the CCNP ENCOR, right? So the first thing is known as CCNP ENCOR. Second one is CCNP NRC. So if you don't know what is the ENCOR in what is the NRC, so I'll help you to understand. But in the routing switching, whatever the concept we keep doing discussion in routing switching, similar concept is going to cover in CCNP ENCOR and NRC. The routing switching is still there, but along with the routing switching, there are few new topics has been added here. So if I'm going to just open a Cisco syllabus for just your understanding, if you just go and try to figure out about the Cisco ENCOR, you will find out syllabus details, right? So here you can see exam review topic. So this is something CCNP ENCOR, right? So CCNP ENCOR, right? You wanted to pursue your career in the networking after CCNA. CCNP ENCOR is just for you, right? So it is like if you want to go even for the what again CCI exam, this ENCOR is just relevant for you. Without ENCOR, even you cannot give the CCI exam, right? So CCNP ENCOR is a must. Without CCNP ENCOR, you cannot go for the CCI. Similar, we just having the CCNP NRC, right? So if you talk about CCNP NRC, that more about the routings. CCNP ENCOR is just more about everything. It's like Bible of the networking, I can say. Trust me, because CCNP ENCOR, one of the syllabus Cisco has designed. In this syllabus, you are going to get flavor of networkings. Whatever the all networking concept is going to use everywhere in like network infrastructure related to the cloud, security, or enterprise or software defined. These all and automation. These all concept idea you are going to get from the CCNP ENCOR. So in modern networking, if you are going to crack or you are just going to get knowledge or you are just going to crack the interview for the modern network, you must have to have knowledge of CCNP ENCOR. Okay. Because if you go with that in course levels, they're having the total 6 modules: architectures, virtualization, infrastructures, network assurance, security, and automations. And trust me, in automation, you just have to little bit knowledge about the Python, JSON, about REST APIs, about the automation tools, what is the orchestration tools such as the SAP, Puppet, Ansible, Salt stacks. So at least you will get an idea what are the automation tools available in the market, how the devices understand the machine language, what is the machine learning, what is a Yang data modeling, right? How the JSON code can be, written in the devices, right? How the Python code can be run on the devices, right? Because many of the requirement you're going to get in your modern network infrastructure design, where you having a like repetitive kind of task, you just keep you just need to execute keep multiple times. So you just have to prepare the script. By running those script, probably you are going to make your life easy, you'll make company life easy. You'll get the n number of the information from the n number of devices by running a single click of the one of the program. So these all things are possible when you're just trying to understand how this program is going to work, and that is part of the CCNP in core. Okay. Earlier it was not available. Why it was not available? Because the course content itself was just routing, switching, and troubleshooting. So more about the routing, more about the switching, no automation.
Similar to DevOps.
Yes, you can say DevOps. DevOps, if you're talking about DevOps, so more automation. Like from Encore, you can go anywhere. If you want to go in the data center, you can go in data center. If you want to go in the more enterprise network infrastructure, you can go there. If you want to go in the automation, at least you're having the CCNS levels also it's having. If you go in the CCNS levels, CCNA syllabus, if you go there, it also having little bit of the automation knowledge. Because nowadays Cisco want every engineer should have the little bit knowledge about the programs, because the network having this programming requirement. Modern networks are basically run based on the programs. So even if you go here, automation and programmability, you should know little bit just about the words. What is the northbound API? What is southbound API? What is the HTTP verbs we have? What is the again little bit about the SAP and Puppet and the Ansible. They are talking more about that in the CCNP, but here they just recognize. You just have to recognize when you have to get the SAP, Puppet, and Ansible. A little bit about JSON. So they are talking from CCNA and CCNP and the CCI. Also in the CCI syllabus, also if we talk about that, they also having, but in the CCI they are more in the advanced. Might be you just have to do a little bit more after CCNA and CCNP. But again, your fundamentals should start from CCNA. You start knowing the language of the machine, how JSON can be read, how Python can be read, how Yang data modeling can be read, how at least you recognize which is my safe language, which is my Ansible language code. So at least you can do some little bit recognition by learning this concept. So this is what about the CCNP, about the CCNP in core, right? So CCNP in core is like, again, without clearing this CCNP in jar 350.401, you cannot clear the CCI exam. CCI, if you want to clear CCI in enterprise infrastructure or might be the wireless certification, you are not eligible to do that without this exam. Okay. Even you not done the CCNP NRC, no problem. But if you want to do CCI in core, you must have to clear that. Okay, guys. So this is one thing. Now we'll discuss about the more about the NRC, because this is the NRC discussion. So if we talk about the NRC is always favorite for any engineer who is just trying to good in the like routing domain. Routing is like, you can say, one of the complex thing available any technology in a networking domain. You can run the firewall, you can easily understand the firewall concept, even understand the switching concept, you can understand some other SDN, but still they all are dependent on the routing. Even you are running the firewall, trust me, I am the instructor of the security firewalls. Your routing concept always will there. Without routing, your firewall will never run, right? Even you're running of the SDN concept, your routing will be there. Without routing, your SDN will never going to be run. Okay, anything you just think about that,
And
right?
now time, sir, and now time SDWAN also knowledge about routing.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
SD-WAN also complete routing. SD-WAN is
yes,
complete based on the routing. So
yes,
if you're thinking about anything about any scenario, even the firewall, what I mentioned, that firewall, they need routing, right? They need routing.
because
Without
90% syllabus is firewall, also routing syllabus.
we can say
ACL
like firewall
is
required the routing, but they having a multiple things. Yeah, policy they have
yes,
policy, they have NAT, they have
NAT,
sub
PAT.
advanced malware, yeah, advanced malware protection, right?
Yes,
Advanced malware protection mechanism, right? So they all and little bit load SL decryption they have, right? They have like some special interface type. They're having some kind of the user
advanced
ID.
ACL, sir. Advanced ACL in
Yeah, yeah, advanced ACL you can say, which known as the
yes,
policy, right?
policies.
Yeah, so these all available in this particular firewalls, right? But the one important part in the firewall need the routing. Okay, so if I open one of the packet flow, right, to the firewall process the packet based on the three informations. One is the routing, one is the NAT policy, and the security policy. So you can see routing always going to check in the first place. Even before go to NAT and the policy, firewall is going to check the routing. If we talk in the Palo Alto point of view, so routing is everywhere. You cannot go away from the routing. So I would suggest for everyone, you should know the routing, how routing is working, what concept behind of the routing, what all things I have to take care in my mind while doing the routing. Okay, so routing is everywhere, so you cannot run away from the routing. So if I talk about the routings, so you can see this is the like GuiNet design CCNP routing syllabus. In this routing, CCNP NRC is known as Enterprise Advanced Routing and Services, right? So routing and services, if you go here and check that the same like enterprise advanced infrastructure implementation routing, in which we are talking about the routing and services. So they're having a all layer 3 technologies, all layer 3 technologies. Likewise, whatever the routing protocols you know till now, right? So we are going to talk about, I will start the routing because I believe from the basic. Okay. There is whatever the route you can think. So if I talk about the routing start from here. Routing start from the first is the connected route, right? This is the again a routing protocol, or you can say route type. After that, the static route, right? You can see about the RIP. They're having a version 1 and version 2. right? Uh, like version 2, we having the EIGRP, right? We having the OSPF, we having the BGP, we having the MPLS, right? We having the DMVPNs, right? So this is the routing protocols, and every engineers who is in the routing domain, they must know these all routing protocols. But while you do these routing protocols, they are limited, looks like 5, 6, 7, or 8 protocols, but the entire concept is quite large. Entire concept is quite large because they're having a lot of dependent concepts. They can start with the layer 3 technologies. They are talking about troubleshoot administrative distance. You should know how AD value play very like vital picture while doing the routings. So every routing protocols having a different AD values. Likewise, if you talk about that connected route, it having the AD value kind of the 0. If you talk about the static route, they having the AD value is 1. If you talk about the RIP, they having the AD value is 120. If you talk about the EIGRP, they having a 3 type of the AD value, 5, 90, and 170. Many people don't know what is the 175 and 90, right? OSPF having AD value 110, BGP having a 2 AD value, 20 and 220. MPLS doesn't require this is a label based protocol, so not AD value, DMEP and not AD value. But you can see, so if you want to understand how this AD value is going to play a vital role while doing the routing configuration in my lab, so we should know how the route should can be manipulated based on the AD value, how route selection can be happen based on the AD value. So that's why they are talking about you should not troubleshoot administrative distance, all routing protocols where we are using the AD values. Now they are talking about how you can influence the routings, how we can do the manipulations of the protocols based on the attributes, tagging and filtering. So this is the route filtering, route tagging, route attributes, different protocols like you're running the BGP, how we can match certain conditions, and on base of the certain conditions, how we can take certain actions. If you want to allow some route in your topology, and based on that route, if you want to just block something from the one to another place, how it is going to happen. So those level of concept is must be required in the advanced routing. If you don't know these all things,
Sir, I want to ask one question. This is an
हाँ,
English batch या Hindi batch?
इसको हम दोनों में कर लेंगे. आज तो हमारा ऐसे डेमो है, so yet we can talk in Hindi.
Because sir wanted to say me one German student is there.
Okay. So we'll talk in like English right now because this is a public batch. Public batch basically I'll take in English, and
Okay.
when it's come to the private after demo and all, so we can go with any language because we know who is a participant. Okay, so if there is
Okay.
someone is not non English speaking, everyone is non English speaking or they understand Hindi, we can go with that. If no, then we can go with the English. Okay, so it totally depend after the all conclusion when we complete the all our demo session and all. Okay. So
Okay.
today batch is English, okay? No Hindi.
Okay.
So after that, like we just have the lot of routing protocols. They're having a lot of ADs value, right? And after this, all ADs value, what we have to do, we just have to troubleshoot based on the whatever they are going to. So we just create the multiple type of the lab where we'll do the attributes, configuration, tagging, and filtering, and we'll understand in real time how even the loop can be prevented based on the tagging, filtering, split horizon rule. Even many people don't know what is a split horizon route, which routing protocol it uses, what is a route poisoning. So these all understand in the first section of this layer 3 technology. More about the troubleshooting we'll understand. But before I start this troubleshooting part, I would love to start with the configurations. So what are the configuration, right? So configuration start from the first routing protocol, that is the EIGRP. Okay, you can see. So in EIGRP, lot of concept we have. So in EIGRP, we having a lot of concept. It's not limited to the IPv4 EIGRP configuration. In this particular CCNP ENARSI, we just have to configure the IPv6 EIGRP. So in our lab, whenever we are just going to build the EIGRP neighborship, we'll build two types of the EIGRP neighborship. One is the IPv4 and one is the IPv6. And we understand how they are like compatible to each other. IPv4 route can be exchanged in the IPv6 and IPv6 can be the IPv4. How it is going to happen and how the EIGRP is going to understand. So these all things we are going to do, and the neighborship relationship authentication, how the RD, RT, right? FC successor, feasible successor, stuck in inactive, how they are going to play a vital role to make this AIGRP topology loop free, right? So these are the routing concept: stub, load balancing, equal, unequal, variance command, how it is going to happen, metric, how it is going to happen. So this is something not written by me. This is something officially syllabus of the Cisco. You can see this is the officially syllabus. Whatever I'm referring here, this is something officially syllabus I have taken from the Cisco, because I believe whatever Cisco design, I don't want like anyone miss any important topic while doing the study. So always I try to follow the syllabus, whatever Cisco they have written, and we can add on top of that, but not should be anything less from the Cisco syllabus, because Cisco design a course where every topic, every concept should be known by the everyone. Okay. So you can see, so after understanding the EIGRP, then we'll move to the OSPF. In this OSPF, again, we have to do a lot of things. Like we just have to configure OSPF, both IPv4 and IPv6. So we just have little bit understanding of the IPv6, how IPv6 how IPv6 can be configured on the interface, how we can enable the OSPF, how they are going to communicate from the neighbors. So those we have to do in the IPv6. Neighbor relationship authentications. Also, we just have to understand based on the plain neighborship and based on the authentication neighborship, how my neighborship is going to be formed. And especially, we just have to focus more in concept about these all four areas. Like about the network type in OSPF, what is a point-to-point network, point to multi-point network, broadcast, non-broadcast not network, area type, backbone, normal, transit, stub, totally stub, totally no service stubby area. So you'll be having the NSSS, but someone is going to ask in the interview, what is a totally stub area and what is the difference between the stub area? What is a totally no service stub area and no service stub area only? So many people don't know what LSA is going to be propagated in which area, how the LSA filtering can be, generated, and how this is going to be, blocked based on the area level also. So those concepts you are going to do in the lab, and I'll make sure you guys will understand everything, every LSA of the OSPF and every LSA filtering, how it is happening. I'll show you in the real time in configuration and our debug output, how this configuration is going to be published from one router to another routers, and how packet is getting exchanged, how neighborship is going to be built between the devices, right? After that, we'll understand about the internal router, backbone router, ABR, ASBR, virtual rings. So after this all doing and path preference, will be champion of the OSPF. If you know that much in OSPF, I believe you are good to go for any kind of the troubleshooting, any kind of the interview. If you know till here the IGRP, nothing is left. Everything is configured. Everything is like you are going to configure, troubleshoot, and give the answer if someone is going to ask about in the interview. But after doing this all, EIGRP, OSPF, and I'll talk about BGP, we'll jump here. Because if we start doing something without knowing troubleshooting, that is like, what the hell I'm doing? Okay. So this is not going to make relevant for you. Okay. So troubleshooting part only come in picture when you know how to configure, how to build a relationship. Because if you know the configuration part, then troubleshooting part will be the easy. But if I start with troubleshooting and I explain whole the things and you don't know how to configure, what is a special area type, what is the RD, reported distance, feasible successor, right? So you cannot understand what I'm talking to make this, loop prevention mechanism, split horizon rule, route poisoning, tagging, filtering, route map, filter list, access list, everything we just have to understand during the configuration, and then we try to explore in the troubleshooting. So similarly in the BGP, you can see here, BGP is quite, everywhere you find the BGP. BGP, whenever you find any internet connectivity, you'll find the BGP, because the BGP is one of the widest usable protocol who is going to carry the all internet based routing tables. So in today world, we having a like I said, more than 1 million internet based routes, right? 10 lakhs, we can say in terms of the Indian counting way. So 1 million internet based route we having, or more than 1 million. So BGP is only the capable protocol who is able to carry those routing protocols from one location to another locations. So that means, let us suppose this is your internet cloud, and this internet cloud having the multiple, ISP connected, multiple ISP connected. Okay. So you are getting the lot of routes from one ISP, from another ISP, and different ISP source globally. And you are just, getting this process, all the routes, millions of routes from these routers, which is the core routers, P router, C router, we having a concept. We'll understand that. And based on that, you're just processing the all routing informations. So this is the BGP is one of the protocols with the help of the MPLS. They are
Sir,
capable.
sir,
Yeah.
sir, I have a question. Damping we use in BGP or MPLS?
So
And why
BGP dampening is the concept which is a part of the BGP. You can use in the MPLS connection, but in conjunction of the BGP only.
for what
BGP,
we use damping?
yeah.
For what we use damping?
For what?
We use damping.
So damping is something you just understand, like you just want to make one of the BGP neighborship, down, right? So dampening is a calculation. They keep calculating, like if your any BGP routes is going to be flap, okay. So how many number it should be flap, then I can tear down my, BGP neighborship, right? So it's in case of the, like, any route is getting flap, any route is getting flap from the different regions. So dampening is come picture, you can configure the dampening, it is going to calculate something, and based on that calculation they can take some, you know BGP peer, some kind of down scenario. So it's is basically there is a something concept called as a penalty, where it should be reduced for the, all your communication for certain time of the period. So there is some kind of the values for the assign for the damping, when the one flapping is going to happen, how much route should be damp, okay, and for what time. So we'll understand this damping concept also when we'll do the path manipulation and the configuration about this, how basically damping is going to be happen. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Sir, is this
Okay.
course combo of ENCOR or NRC or only NRC?
So see, the syllabus, whenever they start for the ENCOR and NRC, always they run together, right? So NRC plus ENCOR. So basically, it's, you can say, the ENCOR plus NRC. Okay. So this ENCOR and NRC, they always run together. The student who come to me for the ENCOR, they must do the NRC, and I just prefer everyone should complete the ENCOR and NRC. Not like you complete the ENCOR and not NRC, because you having the full knowledge then. Okay. So it's like always go in the combo section, ENCOR and NRC, but someone have already done the ENCOR, then they can go with the NRC. That's their choice. Or someone have already done the, like, NRC, they want to do the ENCOR, they can do. But I would suggest you must have to know both of the, uh, like course knowledge. So it is like recommended from my side. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So in this case, you can see here, you just have to understand about the BGP. What is the internal BGP, IBGP, external BGP, how again it is going to be configured for the address family, for the IPv4 and IPv6, everywhere address families, you just have to understand in the configuration how it is going to happen. And you just have to understand about the private AS number, public AS number, how the relationship going to be built between the peers of the BGP, right? How the peer groups is going to be created, timers, synchronizations, attribute, path selection method, what is the best path selection method of the BGP, right? And how the route preference is going to happen, what is the route reflector configurations, right? Dynamic peers, inbound outbound filtering, how the neighborship inbound outbound filtering is going to be happen. So everything is going to be covered in the BGP. And once we understand this BGP, IGP, like EIGRP and OSPF, then you just have to land with the MPLS. So you understand in the MPLS how the RD-RT concept I'm going to tell, although they are talking about the LSR, LDP, and LSP here, but we just have to understand how the route target can be done, how the, like, export can be done, import can be done in the route target, how the RD value can be assigned, how the VRF can be created. You can see ever we having the VRF concept also, VRF light, but they are not talking about the full VRF. But in full VRF, we understand in the BGP when we are building the CEP communications. So we can create the VRF here, and after getting the VRF, one customer is part of the one VRF, another customer is a part of the one VRF, third customer is part of third VRF. Then how the route can be exchanged from one VRF to another VRF. Let's suppose I am learning from route here. I just want to exchange this route to this customer, not this customer. Then how route target will play a vital role here. It's just exchanging the route between the one router to another router. So BGP is going to help with that flavors, right? So this BGP is going to happen in very details, and in this detailed like understanding of the BGP, we'll get about the BGP understanding. Okay, so in this MPLS after BGP, we'll understand everything, and we'll understand about how the MPLS layer 3 VPN can be configured. See, they are not talking about the configuration here in the syllabus of the NRC. They are not talking about the configuration, but trust me, I have done the commitment. I will cover this MPLS entirely in my syllabus. They are just talking about just you should know the concept. This is the part of the configuration of CCI lab, not the CCNP lab. NRC, because the MPLS is the, as per the Cisco, this should be the part of CCI, but I'll cover in my course. No need to worry. Everything about the MPLS, I'll cover it. So your BGP is going to be very strong. Your OSPF is going to be very strong. Your EIGRP is going to be very strong, and your MPLS is going to be very strong. Last but not least, your DMVPN. That's about the dynamic GRE tunnels, NHRP, IPsec. What is the dynamic neighbor, hub to spoke tunnels, spoke to spoke tunnel, how these all are going to have, what is the DMVPN phase 1, what is the DMVPN phase 2, how these all are going to be happen, how does this configuration is going to be happen. These all we are going to cover in this our syllabus, and we'll discuss in the very detail. Okay, so I believe if you know till what I started from the routing protocol about the EIGRP, which is the less usable protocol, but might be in an interview they are going to ask. But the most usable protocol, most complex protocol is the OSPF, BGP, and the DMVPN and the MPLS. If you know that much knowledge of your routing, I believe you can crack any of the interview for the layer 3 level of the support or layer 4 of the level of support, like consultant, architect, because they need the depth knowledge of the routings. And these are the basic fundamental. Many people even don't know how the routing works. They keep saying, I know the routing, but they don't have understanding how the routing works. If I ask simple topology sometime to the people, just make these 4 router. Trust me, people confuse about that. This is the R1. This is my R2. This is my R3, and this is my R4. Here I create the loop back 4 and just assign the IP address. Right here, I create the one of the IP address. That is a loop back 1. Here might be have taken any range of the IP address. Might be I've taken the 12.0.0.0/30. Here I taken 23.0.0.0/ might be 30. Here I taken the 34.0.0.30. Just do your homework, okay? I just ask via the static route, make the reachability from this to this router. Trust me, only a good routing engineer can do that.
Sir, we have to configure, we have to give the every, like we have to add destination, each one path.
Yeah.
It's of manual
Yeah.
work in that.
So a lot of manual work, but only person who having the concept of the routing in terms of the forward routing / reverse routing, those only can complete this lab. Trust me, this is the static. Dynamic is quite easy, but the static is always complex. But while doing the static route, you get the understanding how basically routing work basically. People are always think in one direction. They never think about the reverse direction. And when you stop thinking about the reverse direction, your routing knowledge will be the like always incomplete. You just have to think in 2 directions, forward and reverse. Likewise, you have seen in GPS, right? In GPS, if you go in the any of the GPS tracker, let me go in the Google Map, right? So if I'm going in the Google Map, I can select the destinations. Let me just, I'll take any of the destination. I want to go in, might be the airport, right? So airport. So if I'm going in the airport, so what would be my path, right? So I can take the direction from what is my path. Like I just select the node, any destination. So you'll probably find this is my path, right? Oh, what happened? So this is your path. You can see here, this is your path. So in this path, you can go there, right? You can go via this path, but might be you'll return, let me just use, this path is going to end here, but might be when you're returning, you come to here, you can take the alternate path. You're having alternate path and you come to here. This could be the possibility, right? Similar in routing, we having a multiple way to go there, right? So you just have to take in your mind which path I come and which path means which path I reach to destination and which path I'm coming from destination. So forward reverse routing is always going to be key picture while doing the any of the routing concept. Okay, my dear friends. So routing is the very important, and this is something very easy topology. But when you start working on this easy topology, you having the very good challenges. Okay. So static is one of the complex. Okay, just for your understanding, try to do this lab. Okay, and let me know your result in the class. The next thing after the DM VPN, we having a lot of things about to understand about the TechX, how it is going to be like configure. We can troubleshoot some scenario for the TechX when we cannot configure because we not have the ICE server here, because but we just have to understand what all issue can be happen in TechX and how it can be troubleshooted. Even it is a part of the CCNP ENCOR where we discuss a lot of things about a TechX, local database, how can be created, radius database, how can be created. And then after we just have to troubleshoot basic standard and extended access list and time based also. In ENCOR, there's no time based, but here time based, even you want to enable the ACS based on the times, how it is going to happen. So that is a unique feature you just have to understand. And you just have to understand about the IPv6 traffic filtering if you want to do that based on the access list, how it is going to happen. Unicast reverse path forwarding, URFP. Again, this is a very important key concept you just have to understand. And finally, you just have to like troubleshoot how can do the COP policy. These all are the part of this, in core. So if you're coming from the in core, your NRC life will be very easy because we discuss this infrastructure security in very detail in the in core. Most of the things we are discussing in very detail except this IPv6. IPv6 except almost telnet, SSH, TACAX, these all we keep discussing in this like console, VTY, telnet in the in-core. So if you're doing the in-core, NRC will be there like good because you already know most of the things because infrastructure services, again, the telnet, SSH, local debug, conditional debug, timestamps, troubleshooting IPv6, DHCP client, iOS DHCP server, DHCP relay, helper address, DHCP options, net flow troubleshooting, V5, V6, how it is going to be configured, Cisco DNS centers, how it is going to monitor the device, how we can troubleshoot that. So these are the quite easy topics in the NRC because they are more about the infrastructure services, troubleshooting and management. These two sections are very easy to understand because if you're coming from the in core, these all are mostly covered here. All are mostly covered. Some add-on topic you just have to understand because IP services having everything about a DSCP, clients, relay. No, this is CCNA, not a CCNP in core. Sorry. Security, you can see this is a line BTY COP policy. You having AAA authorizations. And if you talk about the assurance, you having this span, IPSLA, RESTConf, NetConf, debug. These all are already configured here, right? And we diagnosed it. But more important thing in entire syllabus of the CCNP NRC, you just focus on the VPN technology. This is, you can see the weightage of the VPN technology. So 35% weightage is going from the layer 3 technology. About that, two routing protocols, basically three routing protocols, EIGRP, OSPF, and BGP, right? And once we understand these all EIGRP, OSPF, and BGP, we just have to move in the VPN technology, where we just have to complete 20% of weightage about the MPLS and then all. And then infrastructure security, troubleshooting the tech acts, radius and all. And then finally, we'll complete that infrastructure services. So these four module we have, and these all four module, out of these four module, these two modules are quite very, more than 50%. So we have to invest a lot of time here, and we have to invest less time here, but still the person who coming from the in-core, they have to invest less time. Who is in the already NRC starting not in core, they have to work with me very closely about to understand those concepts. Because if I start troubleshooting and you don't know how TechAx going to be configured, that is for you, it looks like what I'm doing. I am not getting you. So you keep complaining me. So that's why recommending, because these are the troubleshooting. Troubleshooting only come in a picture when you complete in the in core. Because in Encore, you already know how TechAx is going to be configured, how the line BD is going to be configured. Then only we can talk about the troubleshooting scenario. What all troubleshooting scenario can be happen in the TechAx? Any question till now, guys? Any question you guys having?
So duration of course, or is it weekend or week off?
So there's two time we are thinking based on the like inputs for the student. One time in
Better weekend. That is also Saturday, Sunday, 8:30 p.m. to onwards.
okay, so let me just propose my time. There's one time weekdays 9 to 10:30 p.m. IST. This is the one time, and weekend the one slot is I just wanted to talk with the participant. One is like probably it will be the 8 to 10 p.m. IST, and the third weekend slot we can start based on the discussion, the 5 to 7 p.m. IST. So this is the three batch I'm thinking to start, three slots I'm thinking, and based on like individual who all are agreeing with the what slot, we can go with that. Okay. So probably we'll go on the weekend. I know many people are the free on the weekends, but if we'll get uh, like a combination of the weekdays also, so we'll think how it can be possible. Okay, so we'll talk to everyone because some enrollment is already confirmed, so they are for the weekend. So we just have to take care of their emotions because we have done the commitment, and some are like might be the new people. They are looking for some other time slots. We just have to think how it can be done. Okay, but this is like proposed slots, so you can make your mind. Probably not in weekdays. I would not recommend in the weekdays unless we just having like many requirement in the weekdays. I will recommend go in the weekend 8 to 10. It is like feasible for the everyone because in evening everyone is available after your day outing, and we can complete our learning and we can sleep very nicely and we can start work in the early morning or might be the late morning, right?
Around how much time it will take to cover up?
Time is going to take because we are going to do like 2 days class in the every weekend around 10 hour in a week, not 10 hour in a week, 5 hour in the week. So it is going to take around 3 months to complete this.
Sir, in
Plus,
NRC both.
no, I'm just talking about the NRC, not in core. It's around 2.5 to 3 months. It is going to take in core only. Not NRC. Sorry, NRC only. In core is like again that much time. So if you want to complete both course in the weekends, it is around 5 months going to take both course on a weekend. Weekdays is it going to be completed within the 3 months. No problem. Clear? So this is all about little bit introduction section for today. What we'll do, I just wanted to make awareness between you all, like we are starting something about the course content. So we'll start from zero. I'll start the session for the EIGRP probably in the coming days. You guys will get very soon notification about that. So we'll start this module layer 3 technology EIGRP, and after completing the EIGRP, we'll land with the OSPF and gradually with her BGP. Okay. So next section, whenever we plan, we talk about the EIGRP. and about the all routing concept, how it is going to happen, lab configuration and everything. Any other question, guys, about this syllabus, course content, anything? Because many people very confused what I'm going to get and all in this particular module.
So I am asking anybody else who are interested with me that only 1 week Saturday and Sunday just elaborate that DM VPN. If anybody interested with me to elaborate the DM VPN first, then after we'll start gradually from the starting point. Layer three
Okay,
technique.
so there is no problem. If you guys are, देखो, see, मुझे इस कोर्स को
If
तो
anybody
कंप्लीट
is
करना ही है.
interested,
Yeah, मुझे इस कोर्स को कंप्लीट करना ही है, right? पूरा कंप्लीट को. So we can start with anything. I'm okay with DM VPN. We can start with a DM VPN, but Dhirendra, the problem is going to happen if I start doing the DM VPN configuration. It is going to use the concept for the EIGRP. Okay, trust me, EIGRP it is going to use. It is going to use the BGP concept. So if you don't know, then probably it is challenge for the people. Okay, because DM VPN again use when you make the dynamic tunnels between the devices. So most preferable protocol is the EIGRP is going to use between the devices. So if you don't know the DM VPN configuration and the EIGRP, then it is problem. So I would suggest personally, if you ask me, not go with this directly with DM VPN. At least complete this EIGRP in OSPF and BGP. At least not even OSPF and BGP, EIGRP must complete, then go with the DM VPN. Because EIGRP concept is going to be used there. Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So eVPN, L3 VPN is totally concept of MPLS.
Yes, L3 VPN
yes.
is like totally concept of the MPLS. Yes, L3 VPN. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, all right. Any other question, guys? So we can wrap up for today because I'm not going to start the class. Because if I start the class, I need at least 1 hour. Because before 1 hour, my mind and body is not going to allow to complete, live the class. So if I enter in the routing, then I must complete some topics. Okay. So probably we can schedule the next class after some time, and we can start with the routing. Okay. No problem. Okay. So I'll let you know. So thank you so much for your time and patience. Okay. I really appreciate and enjoy your rest of the evening. Okay. And have you a great evening with family. See you again. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir.